As Virtuos has been expanding quite quickly over the past year, with currently multiple studios and offices across different regions, we thought we have to come up with a program that is mainly to develop our employees. Our internal mobility program is actually quite flexible in the way that we offer permanent relocation and transfer to different studios at the other corner of the world. It could also be a shorter term mobility program where the people are sent to another studio to learn and work on project for a shorter period of time, ranging between maybe 6 months to a year and a year and a half.
My name is Jason Spencer. I'm a lead level designer at Virtuos, and I am working at the KL Malaysia studio. I'm responsible for the design and level design team and building up training for level design, interacting with all of the studios that we do any kind of design or level design work with. I chose to work at Virtuos because one of the biggest attractors to me was looking at their catalog of contributions. So many great AAA games, and not only in the variety of genres and playstyles, but also in development and cycles. Sometimes we contribute from beginning to end, and sometimes we contribute some critical elements to a game in a short amount of time. The Ability Program is an opportunity for current Virtuos employees to relocate internationally. And the reason I became involved, to get a little more specific, was my wife and child are both Malaysian. So the cost of international schools in Shanghai was far too expensive for a single working parent. So with that in mind, my wife and child returned to Malaysia, and within a couple of months after they left, COVID started showing up in China. And as we all know, travel was challenging, especially in and out of China. So for roughly about 2 years, we had been separated due to these travel restrictions. And KL Studio was just beginning to set up shop. Someone in our Shanghai studio put two and two together and suggested I see what roles were available at Virtuos. The process for me as an employee was straightforward to make the move. I had just communicated with HR from both Shanghai and KL. It was primarily focused on the logistics of the transfer, including topics like visas and work permits and relocation costs. I believe I was one of the first to use this program, which surprisingly, it was still a very smooth process. And they went out of their way to make the transition as smooth and comfortable as possible from the administrative side. But from the development side, the transition has been relatively smooth as well. Before moving to KL, I was already interviewing candidates for the design team. After the move, I continued to support the previous project in Shanghai as a consultant for the leadership replacing me and to ensure that there's a smooth transition for them. So when I arrived in KL, I got to work almost immediately with, generating proposals for potential clients and training exercises for my team. And recently, the design team has already begun contributing to a project as well. Overall experience of the long-term mobility program has been fantastic. It's allowed me to further my career with more responsibility and help and create and mentor that design team for the KL studio. But more importantly, it reunited me with my family. And I would like to emphasize that part. This was a key factor for Virtuos. They wanted to help me be with my family again. And I haven't experienced that level of care for my happiness and well-being in the past from many companies. So I would absolutely recommend the long-term mobility program to my colleagues. It's beneficial to them and to Virtuos, and under the right conditions, it's a no-brainer.